All right, we're back and we're getting ready to go all the way in. Let's go.
I can never sleep, I don't got too many days. Food for thought, feeding your success with the base. I can't quit the game, gotta focus till I finish. I was in the cage, now I know I'm living. They be working hard, trying to keep you in the chains. If you got your mind charged, you ain't gotta stay. Woo!
This is the Sam Jones Talks podcast, and this is episode 5. Where do you think you're going? Very important question. If you have siblings like mine, if you have parents like mine, cousins like mine, you had to have heard that phrase at some point when you was growing up. Where do you think you're going? Now, it's not necessarily where you're going, because you may not be going where you think you're going. You might have your mind set on Chick-fil-A, but your navigation is set to McDonald's. You're never going to get where you're going. Where do you think you're going? Now, the answer to that question explains why you behave the way you do. Because someone who is going to be successful, not necessarily measured by money, but just, have family, good life, just things that are important, good health. Someone who's going to be successful, they're going somewhere. So if you follow their daily routines, it looks a certain way. If you follow their behavior and their mannerism, their attitudes, the things they read and how they spend their time, that's an indication of where they're going. If someone is not going anywhere, they don't have goals and objectives, then you can tell where they're going by looking at their daily routine. So where you're going is clearly decided by your daily routines, the things you do every day, what you are putting your time and your effort into, the relationships that you build. Show me your friends and I'll show you where you're going, is what the old folks used to say. So how do you get where you're going? Well, you need some type of GPS, some kind of navigation, right? And we got to be aware of dumb routes. There's some routes that don't make any sense. Like if you pull up, for me, it might be Siri, for you, it might be Google Maps, and they usually give you several ways to get there. Some routes make sense, and some routes are the routes I call dumb routes, where it just doesn't make any sense. If you follow it, it probably made you go behind where you are and some crazy U-turn when you could have just made a left. Those routes don't make sense. So it's important for you to have a clear route. And to do that, I think it's important in life to have something that I call value navigation. All right, so let's break it down. What is value? Value is principles, your standards of behavior. Those are your values. Navigation is a system that first figures where you are and where you need to go, and then that path is set, you follow that path. That's navigation. It's a process, but it starts with knowing where you are. So value navigation is having principles and behaviors that dictate to you where you are and how you get where you're going so that you don't take a dumb route. That's good stuff right there. So let's talk about how this is cool. In 1957, the Soviets sent up the Sputnik. It's a satellite. Sent it into orbit, and 2 American physicists started tracking the satellite. And what they found is that by using something called the Doppler effect, they can see where in the orbit the satellite was. And what the Doppler effect, stay with me, what the Doppler effect is basically whatever's transmitting, whatever's receiving, when they move closer, something changes in the waves and in the sounds. When they move closer, when they move farther apart, something changes in the sound or in the waves. So to give you an example, let's say we were measuring sound waves, right? When it's getting closer, it'll go, yeah. And when it's going further apart, it'll go, yeah. So that difference in the sound indicates some either movement towards or from. Now, the reason this is important is because that's how value navigations function in your life. It lets you know if you're moving closer to your goal or not. It lets you know if the way you're getting there is right or not. What are values? Honesty, kindness, consideration for others, diligence. These are values that when they're in your life, they let you know if the things you're doing are right. They let you know if the place you want to go, if you're getting there the right way, because you could be successful by stepping on people, stealing, being dishonest. That's one way to get there, but that's what I call the dumb route. When you have these values, they're checks and balances. They let you know, hey man, that wasn't the honest way to do that. You didn't have to speak to him that way. These are internal navigation devices or components that help you to get there successfully so that you're getting there the right way. It's like the Doppler effect. And when you start getting away from your values, you know it. because you have these internal gauges. Gauges are so important. I think I mentioned that in an earlier episode, that imagine driving a car that had no gauges. Imagine if your car didn't tell you when you were going on E or when your oil is running low, and the only time you know that you're in a bad situation is when you're in a bad situation. Isn't that late? Wouldn't it be cool to have some kind of gauge to let you know we're almost on E? We're down to a quarter tank. We need gas. You need some kind of gauges to tell you how you're doing in life, or you could be messing up and not even know it. And by the time you realize, it's too late. So you need gauges. What are your gauges? Values, principles, honesty. When you have honesty in your life is when your gauges. Whenever you're not honest, you'll know it because you're honest. Dishonest people don't even know they're being dishonest because they're submerged in dishonest behavior. Honest people know when they're being dishonest. People who are accustomed to being on time, they feel it when they're late, because these are principles they live by. So when they're off, their Doppler effect starts to happen and they know, I'm off from where I need to be. If you want to be successful, you want to be a businessman, or you want to do well in school and get certain certifications, or whatever you want to do, there's certain things you need to do to acquire that goal. And when you're not doing it, your internal Doppler effect needs to let you know you're too far from where you are. You're supposed to be reading and you're binging on Netflix. You're supposed to be home working on your craft and you're into your third season of whatever you're binging in on Netflix. Some internal navigation component needs to tell you when you're off. It's the truth that tells you when you're off. Because as far as your truth is concerned, with your truth, you're good all the time. You're always doing all right. Anything that goes wrong is most likely somebody's fault, and that could be your truth. The truth is a good measurement because it shows you what to compare yourself to. You know, it's a good way to know where you are in life and what's happening. So that value navigation is very important because it lets you know if the route you're taking is the wrong route. Sometimes we have the wrong coordinates. We want to accomplish things that we weren't built to do. You're not built like that. You're not going to be a doctor because that's not who you are. That's not what you're designed to do. So that's how you find people that keep changing their majors because they don't know what they're supposed to be. So they keep trying different things. And there's nothing wrong with trying different things. Definitely, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't do that. But when you know what the direction is that you want to go in, it's so you kind of have a pathway there. It's clear. Where you think you're going is determined by your daily routines and your behaviors. I'll know where you're going if I see what you're doing. I'll even be able... Health specialists can tell what your health is going to be like just looking at your habits, looking at what you do, the consistency of how you eat certain things and how you behave. These things are indicators of where you're going. So if you want to make it to your destination, make sure you have the right coordinates. Make sure that you're capable of the things you want to accomplish, that the vision you have and the things you want to accomplish, you can actually attain it. There's no way you could be a drummer if you have no coordination. That's not a real goal to set. You know what I'm saying? That's not a place you can reach. Or you want to be a mechanic, but you hate getting your hands dirty. You want to be a contractor, but you hate splinters. You have to make sure that the goals that you set are attainable, or you at least believe they're attainable. Because if you don't believe you can attain them, there's no reason to start. Because when the challenges come and the pitfalls come, you won't have what's necessary to push past them. When you believe in where you're going and you're set on your route to get there, every bump in the road is an encouragement to you. It won't stop you. Even if it hurts, like I said in the previous episode, and you cry and you feel pain, sure, but that's not going to stop you because you know where you're going, your coordinates are set, and no matter what happens, you've got to reach your destination. And you know you're getting there the right way because you have value navigation. I think that's good right there. So if there's one thing I can leave with you, if one thing sticks out of all of this, is make sure that you have values, core values, things that shape how you believe, how you function, and how you behave in life. Those values will help to make sure that the destination that you set and the coordinates that you set, you reach there the right way. You're not stepping on people to get there. It's not by any means necessary. You're not thieving and lying, even on your taxes. I know a lot of good people that on their taxes, they'll cheat a little bit just to make a little bit of money and they think it's okay. It's just as wrong as stealing from the bank. Wrong is wrong. When you have this value navigation, it lets you know, I know it'd be cool if I claim this or claim that, but you know what? I'm gonna go the honest route. I'm gonna make less money, maybe hundreds or even $1,000 or $2,000 less, but you're a better person for it because you're following a value navigation system that's going to help you reach where you're going the right way. We're done here, man. Reach for the highest good, and I'll see you real soon. Take care. The end.